Hi guys, this is Kaylee Schoeneman. You guys probably know me better as Koishii Kitty from the forum. I'm going to show you one of the techniques that I use when I'm painting. If you're familiar with my work, you know it's usually bright and glaringly contrasting in color. But I don't actually antique my pieces. Most of the pieces I do aren't antiqued. So I'm going to show you how I get the effect I do without antiquing. As you can see, I've got this Muse here. So I coated him in black. I used just a brush and paint because I was lazy. But you can get a can of spray paint of black and just spray paint it, or if you have an airbrush, you can airbrush the piece black. So on my palette here, I've got some white, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry brush him with this white. I'm using a paint that isn't really thin because you want it to be thick enough to be able to stick by using the dry brush technique. If it's too thin or too watery, what will happen is the paint will seep into all the different crevices and it will ruin this antiquing effect that's going to happen. So I'm going to start by picking out a brush here. This one should work. Its bristles are a little stiff, but are still flexible. I like these brushes because the bristles don't stick together like some of these fine synthetic bristles will do. These brushes are really good for dry brushing as well. So if on your PYO you want to go opposite the direction of any crevice. If you go the same direction as it, you're going to get paint within that crevice and you'll lose the antiquing effect. So for fur and feathers, go straight across or diagonal to the lines. For the scales, you do the exact same thing. Now, it kind of looks messy. You can see a lot of the brush strokes, and that's okay. So, got almost all of it. I'm going to finish it up and then come back when we add the color. Alright, so after getting the Muse completely white, I went ahead and added some color onto him, and this is what he looks like now. Some sides like this is just flat color, so you can kind of see what it looks like. You can see a lot of the black paint that gives it the antiquing look, as well as you can see to some of the white paint. But when you add metallic over it, this is the side that's got the metallic on it, pretty much you still get some of the brush strokes, which gives you a level of depth, but the antiquing is still showing through. Now, I can take this Muse and I can keep painting on it and you will still see the antiquing. So, if I keep adding paint on here, you want to be careful not to cover up your antiquing, but I can keep layering metallic and flat paints over one another. Most of the antiquing will still show through. It'll just show as a darker color than what I'm painting with, which gives it a nice natural antiquing look that isn't as contrasting as usual black or brown antiquing on a multicolored surface. That's usually the problem that I've run into before I started doing this, is that you'd paint something with a lot of colors and then you gotta figure out, okay, so now how am I going to antique it so that all the colors look nice together? And if you use the wrong colored antiquing, or even, you know, like if you use black, it can be so striking that it just really looks weird. So pretty much this eliminates that. It doesn't look like much right now, but given a couple more hours of painting, he'll look pretty awesome. I'll show you guys when he's finished. Bye.